Get in there!
There are two live games on Sky Sports tonight. It's Motherwell against Hearts, now on HD4 and 4. Here on HD1 and 1, it's Johnstone's Paint Trophy action between Brentford and Charlton. Seven clubs are left in the Johnstone's Paint Trophy. By close of play tonight, they'll be down to 4, including one from the capital.
It's a derby with plenty of passion and emotion, and those who can keep their heads come out on top.
Super goal, Pavel, wonderful goal, Charlie McDonald. That is absolutely fantastic.
An absolute cracker!
In the Johnstone's Paint Trophy Southern Area semi-final, live from Griffin Park, it's two London clubs from League One in opposition. Brentford against Charlton. Brentford make one change from that fine win at Southampton at the weekend. Sam Saunders has pulled a hamstring in training. He's replaced by Robbie Simpson. Charlie McDonald is joint top scorer for the Bees with 7 goals so far. He began his career at Charlton and spent 5 years at the Valley. It's Charlton's third game in 6 days, and they make 6 changes to the side that was shocked by Walsall at the weekend. Carl Jenkinson was recalled from a loan at Eastbourne yesterday to play in defence. 37-year-old Christian Daly is back after serving a 4-game suspension. And Pavel Abbott is recalled up front. He's got 7 goals in 10 games against Brentford in his career so far. Welcome to Griffin Park as this competition gets ever closer to Wembley. With us this evening, our own Scott Minto, who played for over 5 seasons at the Valley, and a man who played for both clubs. Herman Hreidarson was Brentford's record signing. He also played alongside Andy Scott in the Brentford team, the current manager of the Bees. He went on to play almost 150 games for Charlton and is now with Portsmouth in the Championship. It's good to see you both. Herman, Brentford, exciting times for them, isn't it, at the moment? Beating Everton in the League Cup and moving up the league table as well.
Yeah, the season so far, it's been one to remember, you know. You'll remember this for years when you knock out the big boys out of cup competition. So, yeah, so far so good.
What is the potential for Brentford, do you think? How far can they go in terms of league and cup?
Well, league-wise, it's going to be tough to go a lot higher than they are at the moment because it's all about money. They'll need something. They'll need a big money man behind them then. But you know, you never know. The fans are brilliant down here. I had a wonderful time here, you know, while I was at the club, and yeah. So, for me, hopefully they can go all the way and test themselves out in the Championship.
And Scott, we know Charlton are probably a bigger club in terms of resources, aren't they? But they're in the same division, and there's not much between them, is there?
Just a few years ago, they were in the Premier League, weren't they, George? Of course, mid-table there as well. And a lot of things have happened. Not good things have happened, just in a short space of time. But I think Phil Parkinson has done really well recently. It was a very poor result at the weekend, of course. But that was the first loss they've had since Brighton in mid-October. So, you know, I think they've got a really good side here, and it's important as well. When we talk about the squad, it's the third game in 6 days. You know, they played on Sunday. They do want to be able to make the changes. I think that's something Phil Parkinson can do. And also the players that come in, I think they've got a point to prove. So I'm expecting a good performance from Charlton.
They've had some shocks along the way, haven't they, Charlton? They are prone to throw in a bad performance now and again.
Listen, you can say that about anyone in all 4 divisions this season. The Premier League has been pretty much like the Championship and League One as well. It's about getting the consistency, and that's something which Charlton obviously have not had in recent years in the Championship and last season as well. Just fell by the wayside trying to go for that top 2. They'll still believe. I thought at the beginning of the season a top 6 would be good for them, but I think there's a really good chance now that they can get into the top 2. It was a big missed opportunity to lose because they had only been a point behind Brighton. But I still think, as I say, they can bounce back with a win here, try and get to Wembley in this competition, and also get up and get into that top 2, which I think they're more than capable of.
Herman, is that the attraction now? We're getting so close to Wembley. You know, the chance for these clubs and these players at this level to play at Wembley may never come around again.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and for the players and for the fans and the club as a whole, you know, it just is such a good day out, and you know, playing at home of football for everyone, and you know, a trip worthwhile for everyone. So for sure, people will try their hardest to get there.
In the league table, just 4 points between the two clubs. Charlton are down to 4th place after losing to Walsall at the weekend. Brentford up to 10th place after their fine win at Southampton, but just 4 points separate them in the Empower League One table. And they're both banging for. Charlton going well despite losing to Walsall. That was their first defeat in 12 games. And Brentford, well, that's over 6 games, that table, but they've only failed to win a couple of games out their last 8 in the league. So they're going really well under Andy Scott. And he's with Patrick Davison now.
Andy, after a slow start to the season, you're now one of League One's in-form teams. What's been the reason for the transformation?
The players have settled into the season. Now, you know, we brought a lot of new players in at the beginning of the campaign, and probably a little bit too late in pre-season for it to work straight away. But we did start slowly, we understood that, but we've recognised where we were going wrong, and the players taken everything on board that we've asked them to do, and we're on a very good run at the moment, and they give their all for me, and they've got some good ability as well. So, yeah, we're very confident at the moment, and hopefully that will continue tonight.
And just one change tonight, does that show how highly you value this competition?
We value every competition. In previous years, I've been in charge. We haven't had the squad to be able to cope with, you know, all the cup competitions, and therefore we had to concentrate on the league. But this year we've done very well in the Carling Cup, beating Hull and Everton and taking Birmingham to penalties as well. And we want to progress in this cup. This is a chance to get to Wembley. We never take it lightly, and you know, we want to give the fans something to cheer about and try and take them to Wembley. But obviously we've got to get past Charlton first.
3 years in charge for you here now. Can you believe it's been so long and gone so well?
Feels like about 30 sometimes. But no, I'm loving it. I love the job that I'm in, and I'm very, very proud to have the players that I've got and the way they work for me. I look forward to going and work every day, and every time I work with these players, you know, they give me their all, and I can't ask any more than that. And any manager would be pleased to step into work knowing that they've got a committed group behind them.
Thanks very much, Andy. Good luck.
Cheers.
Andy Scott forced to retire from playing with a heart problem. You played alongside him, Herman. Did you foresee him becoming a manager? There's a bit of steel in there in Andy Scott, isn't there?
Yeah, he was a big voice in the dressing room and a big character. And I suppose what you could see, he led by example on the pitch. He worked so hard for the team, defended from the front. So in that sense, you could see, he had a bit of a leader in him, yeah.
And he's got not a lot of resources here, but he says he's able to keep more or less the same team, apart from one injury tonight, because things are getting a little bit better.
Yeah, no, it's going to be always hard in that league. You can't have the squads of 30 players. You'll have to juggle your squad and use it well, because like I say, you'll have to use most players week in, week out.
It's a tough-minded manager, isn't he?
Yeah, I think as he said there as well, that when you have a lot of people going out and a lot of people coming in, it does take time. It's a big gamble to do that, actually, and come the end of September, they were bottom. But no one panicked at the club. Andy Scott certainly didn't, and you can see where they are now. And it was, they're playing really well. It's going to be a really interesting game, because while Charlton are above them, they're banging form, Brentford.
Let's hear from the Charlton manager, Phil Parkinson, now. He's with Patrick.
Phil, this is your third game in 6 days. Has that forced you to make some changes to your team?
Well, Sunday we had a disappointing performance where I felt we lacked energy, so there's no way that same 11 was going to produce a performance tonight. So we had to make changes, but I feel it's our best chance to win the game.
You had been in terrific form. How far has that defeat to Walsall set you back?
I think it's a reality check for us, and we let our standards drop on Sunday. It was almost an unexplainably poor performance.
Brentford have beaten some good sides here, including yourselves in the league. What makes them such a challenge at Griffin Park?
Well, they're a strong, hard-working side, and first and foremost, we're going to have to match that tonight. I believe we've got some quality in the team, but for that quality to come out, we're going to have to roll our sleeves up and work hard, like I've just said, probably what we didn't do on Sunday.
OK, thanks, Phil.
Thank you.
wonder how much Charlton will be keen to get to Wembley, because it's not far away. I mean, they've got Tottenham in the FA Cup, so unlikely to get to Wembley in the FA Cup. This is their best chance.
Definitely. I mean, you mentioned about certain players might never play at Wembley. They've got some players who have. They've got a lot of players who haven't. So I think if you're this close, you want to take it very seriously. And as I say, 3 games in 6 days. And with the performance and the result they had at the weekend, I'm not surprised Phil Parkinson's made changes at all.
Yeah, just dropping down from 2nd to 4th is psychologically important in the league, isn't it? And that's got to be their focus, hasn't it?
That's right, and you want to keep on winning games, building the momentum. They certainly did that, as I say, from the Brighton game until the Walsall game. All's Phil Parkinson will be saying now, we've got to start that run again. And what better way to start it tonight and obviously go through to the final of the Southern section.
Herman, you've played for both, and obviously you know that Brentford's resources are not great. You've been saying that to us. But Charlton's resources are potentially much bigger, aren't they?
Yeah, for sure. And you know, the facilities they've got, you know, the Valley, wonderful stadium and training ground, which is, you know, fit for any team in the Championship and you know, Premiership. And yeah, it's a club who wants to be in the Premiership. They spent 8 years there, you know, and you know, for sure that's the place to be. And the club showed it they can do it. And yeah, now they just have to, you know, you have to start where you are. And winning this league is vital.
This one of 3 games in the competition this evening here at Griffin Park, the Johnstone's Paint Trophy. In the northern section, Tranmere are taking on Huddersfield. The winners of that game will play Carlisle in the northern final. In the southern section, the winners here tonight will meet either Bristol Rovers or Exeter. They kicked off at 7:15, and the score, as you can see, is 0-0. Commentators here at Griffin Park are Gary Birtles and Tony Jones.
Thank you, George. Yes, Wembley not too far away now. What about Brentford then? Brentford make one change. Sam Saunders pulled a hamstring in training yesterday, so Robbie Simpson gets a rare start. Otherwise, it's as you were. Brentford having won a 5th successive away game in League One when visiting Southampton on Saturday. Goalkeeper Richard Lee has made important saves in penalty shootouts this season, particularly against Everton in the Carling Cup and Leyton Orient in the Johnstone's Paints Trophy. Kerry Woodman is an ever-present, while Tumani Diagorara has adapted well to a new role for him on the left of midfield. Charlie McDonald has been top scorer for the past 2 seasons, and he started out as a Charlton trainee. Charlton are playing their 3rd game in 6 days, so manager Phil Parkinson feels the time is right for change, with teenager Carl Jenkinson, who's been recalled from a loan at Eastbourne Borough, getting a debut. Christian Daly is available after a 4-game suspension, so partners Gary Doherty as Charlton try to get over Sunday's home defeat by Walsall. Also back are Alan McCormack, Lee Martin, Carl Reid, both those in wide positions, and Pavel Abbott, who over the years has made a habit of scoring goals against Brentford. On the bench, only 5 substitutes per team for the Football League trophy. Brentford's Nicky Forster had a time at Charlton at the end of last season. Charlton's Jackson Benson and Yinsa have 21 goals between them already this season. So 2 teams going well in League One are back now on the trophy trail. The road leads to Wembley just along the A406, the North Circular Road, 3 miles or so from Griffin Park. It's the Southern Section semi-final. It's Brentford against Charlton, and it's next.
The Johnstone's Paint Trophy Southern Area semi-final, Brentford against Charlton. Let's rejoin Gary Birtles and Tony Jones.
A rare home game as well for Brentford in the Johnstone's Paints Trophy. 5 of their last 6 wins in this competition have been on penalties. They're at home for the first time in the competition this season, and their last 5 ties have all been away. Charlton, who suffered that home defeat in League One at the weekend to Walsall. Keith Hill is our referee this evening. A final head count from him, and we will be underway. Southern Section semi-final. This is a one-off. The Southern final will be played over 2 legs in the new year, and then beyond that, it's Wembley. There is a Johnson's Paints Trophy final at Wembley. 90 minutes, and then we're into penalties. One of the innovations of this particular competition. We don't have any extra time. And Brentford used to shootouts, been successful in the competition already against Leyton Orient. They won the Southern quarter-final in a shootout at Swindon as well. And they enjoyed success in the Carling Cup earlier this season. Dramatic win against Everton in a penalty shootout after a 1-1 draw. So they know their way around cup competitions, as do Charlton, who, having enjoyed success against Luton in the replay last week, will go to Tottenham in the third round of the FA Cup in the new year. Looking forward to this one, Gary Birtles.
Yeah, the two form teams in the division at the moment. Both like getting the ball down, passing it. Both very confident at the moment, although surprise results for Charlton at the weekend.
Brentford with a rare appearance at Griffin Park. Their last home game here was on November the 13th when they lost to the MK Dons. There's nothing wrong with their away form. In the last 5 away. Andy Scott, who celebrated 3 years in charge on Saturday with a league win at Southampton. He's done a remarkable job in his short period in charge. Came into management early because of a heart problem when he was a player with Leyton Orient. Back with one of his former clubs now. They're doing an excellent job. Some stability in League One last season after a promotion. Driven in by Carl Reid, one of those brought back by Phil Parkinson for Charlton this evening. Reid again, looking for Abbott. It's a delightful ball on as well to Serjan Rakon. And again by Reid, and the cross this time is overhit. Some real urgency though from both these teams.
It was a disappointing end, didn't want it to a really promising build-up. Only one-touch football from Charlton, just a final delivery. Just over everybody.
Doherty will get there first. Put under pressure for the first time by Charlie McDonald. No shortage of experience in the Charlton Athletic defence with Gary Doherty alongside Christian Daly.
I'd say one of those two would have dealt with that. Both going for it together.
Charlton can look forward to the FA Cup in the new year. Brentford already eliminated, although Andy Scott was saying that that might be a blessing in disguise given the schedule that they've got. And that's a really hefty challenge by Stephen Wright. He really caught Reid high on the thigh.
It's a poor clearance from Lee in the first place. Put Wright under pressure. And he had a real go at him. There's the clearance. Reid gets it down, and there's the high challenge, and straight away Wright gets up and berates his goalkeeper. You cannot go in with your feet like that. Your studs showing. And he's not happy at all, is he? You see challenges like that early in games. That's the reaction you get from a manager.
Phil Parkinson simmers. Fortunately, Carl Reid is back on his feet. One of those brought in by Charlton this evening. They've made 6 changes in total. A completely new front line with Martin, Abbott and Reid making up a 3-pronged attack. Fry with the free kick. Helped away by Leg. Stephen Wright cautioned inside 4 minutes. And just come back from injury. He missed the fixture at Plymouth with a knee problem himself. He was signed only in October because he was without a club. He left Coventry City at the end of last season. Helped away by Daly, the Scottish international. Jenkinson on his Charlton debut. Looking for Abbott, who's got this amazing goal-scoring record against tonight's opponents. 7 goals in 10 games. He scored against them last season when he was with Oldham Athletic.
Yeah, 5 minutes in, it's really a frenetic pace about the game. Tempo's good.
result there for either Brentford or Charlton. Southern Area final against either Bristol Rovers or Exeter, who are playing this evening as well. Northern section, Carlisle are through already. It'll between Tranmere and Huddersfield in the Northern final in the new year. Forward by Wright. So the delightful cross in, which was well dealt with by Doherty.
Well, when you've got that experience, it's all about positional sense in the box. When you spot that danger coming in from wide areas, a nice ball fed through, being put it in early, and look at the position he takes up. Doherty at the near post, comes towards the ball, sees the run at the near post, and just takes no chances.
Simpson and Bean combining well. There's a clash of heads inside the penalty area, and immediately Keith Hill has stopped play.
We've seen one bad challenge, one accidental one now. Clash of heads, horrible thing to see. Both straight away went down. Both honestly going for the ball here. Both concentrating. Just nothing you can do about them at all.
Matt Fry is close to getting to his feet. Yeah, they're both okay. Here's Simpson, who flew in to try and make the most of that corner kick. Matt Fry went off at half-time against Walsall on Sunday. Phil Parkinson so disappointed with his team's performance. He felt that they'd perhaps done a bit too much when seeing off Luton in the FA Cup at Kenilworth Road on Thursday evening. A weary team, he felt. Time for a change, but Fry has retained his place in the starting 11. No place in the right-back berth for Simon Francis, who he felt was a little bit out of sorts, having missed only one game all season. Francis, who might have actually joined Brentford in the summer.
It's a difficult thing to juggle your squad when you're further down the leagues. Of course, they played 3 games in 6 days, and now the Christmas period coming up, weather permitting. It's always a busy period, and you do get injuries, you do get suspensions, so you have to try and rotate, rest, and change things around a little bit to suit.
Doherty's on 4 yellow cards at the moment. He is one of those who Charlton have included in their starting 11. Next for Charlton is a trip to Hartlepool at the weekend. They're at home to Southampton beyond that, and their trips to Brighton and Colchester is going to be a testing programme for them over the Christmas and New Year period. Next for Andy Scott and Brentford is a home game against Huddersfield.
The weather forecast, anything to be believed. All in for problems. They could have a Christmas off, half of them, by the sound of it.
Here's Fry, none the worse for that bang on the back of the head when he challenged with Simpson. Raycott searching out Jenkinson.
I like the way these two teams move the ball quickly, 1 and 2 touches. They don't always get it right, and the lower in the league you are, it doesn't always come off like you see in the Premier League. But at least they're trying to do the right things. They're trying to stop players closing them down by having too many touches.
2 teams going well in League One. Charlton, who've gone 11 games undefeated in all competitions before they lost at the Valley on Sunday. Haven't been beaten away from home since they lost here at Griffin Park at the start of October. Huge incentive for these teams when they get to this stage, given that there is that big payday at Wembley in April in the final. It is a consideration for both Andy Scott and Phil Parkinson. Helped on by Fry. Here's Reed. It's a lovely touch by Abbott, taking advantage of the whipped cross from Reid.
Well, this is perfect strike play from Pavel Abbott there. Attacks the near post. Reid gets away with his pace. Just puts it straight in, doesn't take a touch, and as he plays it, just offside, but wasn't given. Decent flick. That's what strikers want, that ball played in early. Just gets there to time the run as he did there, Pavel Abbott, and he was offside. He didn't know that. Tries to flick it goalwards. Doesn't quite come off for him.
Doherty again looking for Reid, but he'll have to try again because Keith Hill has just indicated that the ball was rolling as Gary Doherty searched out his teammate.
He could be key for them, Reid, couldn't he? With his pace, his ability to deliver quality, like we just saw there.
But he was at Oldham last season. He has got a tremendous goal-scoring record, no matter where he's played, and particularly at this level. Previously with Huddersfield, of course, where he did an excellent job. Former Polish under-21 international. He's a Polish mother, and Jenkinson, who's come in, the 18-year-old at right back, has a Finnish mother and has already played for Finland at under-19 international level. But of course, at that age, it doesn't really matter. He could choose who he likes later in life. Dean is under that, and just mistimed his jump. Reid again looking lively. Daly. Doherty anticipating the run of McCormack. Communication there between Doherty and McCormack. Bean. Gigoraga. Stumble there by Leg as he tried to search out McDonald. After that frenetic start, we've had a bit more fluency now.
Yeah, it's been fast and furious. Just need somebody to slow it down a little bit and take a bit more care with the passing.
On by Woodman. And McDonald was looking for Alexander. Fry, left back, who's on loan from West Ham United at the moment. Overhead by Semedo. Semedo and Racorn, the two centre midfielders who are always in there for Charlton. No night off for them.
Semedo just going a little bit too long there. And options to his right, tries for the killer ball.
Phil Parkinson, who was a Southern finalist with Colchester United. They were beaten by Swansea 5 years ago now. So he's been close, very close before to reaching the final. Given away by Reid.
That's what I mean. Take a bit more time and care with your passing.
Woodman. Now McDonald, keen to impress against the club where he started his professional career. Now Bean. Brentford doing their best to push Marcus Bean forward whenever possible.
Yeah, prepared to get in the box, joining with the two strikers. You've seen him deliver a decent ball from Wide on the right.
Well, immediately put under pressure. Brentford have the throw. Right. Now by McCormack. And with a little bit of time. McDonald. In by Alexander.
Been a couple of promising build-ups, but final delivery's not been good on the occasions. Decent flick one there. Reverse ball, stays onside, tries to put it in early, but over the bar and away.
Gary Alexander, who played with his manager at Brentford, Andy Scott, at Leyton Orient. 7 goals he's got this season, joint top scorer along with Charlie McDonald. Alexander scored in his last 2 league games at Southampton and at Colchester. Nothing wrong with Brentford's form on the road. And again by Alexander, looking once more for Bean. Abbott. Angled crossfield pass to try and pick out Martin. Once more, Charlton haven't been able to find Lee Martin. Winger on loan from Ipswich Town for a season. Helped on by Simpson. Here's Alexander. Simpson's there. It's a really good header as well.
Terrific header. Really attacked well. And there's the desire to keep this ball in. It's worked well across the 18-yard box. And again, he's offside, standing in an offside position, but he carries on, hooks that ball beautifully back into the danger area, attacks it well. He might feel a little bit disappointed with this header. There's the desire to keep that in, full stretch, attacks it, and not real pressure on him. Could have done a little bit better for me.
Simpson and Alexander working well. Simpson has got his chance in the wide berth because of the injury to Sam Saunders. Andy Scott had anticipated naming an unchanged team, but Saunders pulling a hamstring in training on Monday.
Brentford certainly look better when they feed the ball into the 2 strikers' feet. Very alive around the 18-yard box.
Simpson there with McCormack. McDonald being held by Daly. Will be a free kick this to Brentford right on the edge of the Charlton penalty area.
Well, you see the movement, the ability to turn players. Christian Daly not happy with the decision. Referee smiling and telling them why it's being given. There's a decent tackle one. Just rolls him a little bit there, grabs him. Knew he was in a little bit of trouble there, Christian Daly. There, just rolls him, gets away from him. Daly's not to know that he's got help behind him.
Christian Daly has been sent off twice already this season. The 37-year-old, he's got 36 on his back because he was 36 when the season started. Craig Woodman scored 2 goals this season, both from free kicks. He is there along with Simpson.
The ball doesn't look 10 yards, does it?
Elliott with 4 in his defensive wall, plus Leon Legg. That's a good save by Elliott as well. Effort from Simpson was parried away by the Charlton goalkeeper.
Well, that's an excellent save because I think this gets a deflection. Gets a deflection there, bounces in front of him, and that makes it a better save for me. There's a deflection. It comes at him quick, skids off that surface. It's a fine save.
Cormac with the clearance. Eventually Charlton are able to clear. Brentford beginning to apply a little bit more pressure.
Charlton started the game particularly well, the better side in the early stages, but Brentford just starting to get a foothold.
Martin, haven't been too many opportunities for him to get on the ball. And when he does get it, he gives it away. Simpson. On again by Woodman. Simpson driving on. Abbott doing his best to get away from Leg. McCormack with another diagonal pass to find Reed.
Well, it shouldn't be offside there. He's wide, he can see right the way across the pitch, unless the assistant's got it wrong, which he's trying to suggest. And there's his position, and look at, it's well offside. He should never be that far forward. You can see right across the pitch there.
Charlton's route to this southern semi-final. We've seen them beat Dagenham and Redbridge, the MK Dons and Southend. It's only their second season in the competition, because previously they were either in the Championship or the Premier League. Last season they were beaten by Southampton in a southern quarter-final. Southampton, who went on to win the trophy.
There's going to be a real battle between Abbott and Osborne. Osborne trying to dominate. Just gets Abbott's arm there. That should be one to watch for the rest of the night.
Osborne with the free kick. McDonald. Diaguraga. Now Simpson. Hacked away by Martin, picked up by Woodman. Abbott. It's a lovely touch by Abbott, and Reed was on his way. Needed the intervention of Leg and Wright to ensure that there was no further threat.
Just needed lifting over, didn't it? Didn't quite get it right. Does well again, shows himself there, just needs lifting over the two defenders.
Funny old season for Andy Scott and Brentford. Won 7 of their last 10 in League One, but they won only 1 of their first 9. Now they've found some form, they've found some continuity. Reed. Martin offside.
Disappointing again. Nearly getting it right, Charlton. Get it wide. And there. I don't think he's offside there when that's played. The linesman's got that one wrong. Small margins.
Gone by Osborne. And during the summer signed a new contract with Brentford, a club where he made his Football League debut at the age of just 17. McDonald, who started off as a trainee at Charlton, played for them in the Premier League, scored for them in the Premier League. Driven in by Woodman, gathered comfortably by Elliott.
What, that's not a bad delivery. Somebody attacks that. Hits him with that pace. a lot of endeavour out there, a lot of desire, but it seems to be done at 100 miles an hour at the moment.
Raycon now trying to take charge. And foul by O'Connor.
Referee says that's a free kick. Both were high there. 6 and 2 threes.
Free kick that gives Charlton the opportunity to push Doherty forward.
There we see, lacking in quality again, straight through to the goalkeeper. No excuse for that, really. There's the opportunity. Whether he's going for goal, whether he sees the keeper off his line, I don't think so. It's poor, whatever he tried.
Martin. McCormack. Jenkinson.
Some good pressing by Brentford, forcing Charlton back. Press well as a team as well. The back four push up like that. It's good line. Forced Charlton all the way back, but you saw the back four pushing the midfield further forward. And that pushes the strikers so they can close down as well. The line, how high it is there, straight as a die as well. That's good defending.
Brentford really have timed up defensively. They've conceded just 21 goals in League One. Conceded just one in their 3 ties so far in the Johnson's Paints Trophy. Daly climbing high. I'm not entirely sure that he was climbing that fairly.
The crowd weren't happy, were they? I've seen one free kick given away on the edge of the box there. His arms all over him. You wonder, had that been anywhere else but the 18-yard box, that would have been given as a foul. Sure it would.
Phil Parkinson was saying that Christian Daly is Charlton's John Terry. They've missed his leadership and his inspiration in the games that he's been absent because of suspension. Raycon being dragged to the ground, but the decision has gone the way of Brentford.
Well, that surprises me as well. And he's asking, what's going on? I'm sure that was the other way, he said. He does well there. And look, he's pulled him down. That's the other way for me, without a doubt. Marcus Bean feels he's a little bit fortunate there.
O'Connor. Woodman. Can't shake Alexander off the ball.
He's strong, isn't he? Does well there, keeps possession. They do look better when they feed it into McDonald and to Alexander.
Chested on by McDonald. Picked up now by Simpson. One back by McCormack. Diego Raga. Now O'Connor is Brentford's longest serving player, looking for Bean. There is so much at stake for both these teams, isn't there, Gary? You just wonder if that's affecting the way in which they're playing.
I said before, it's just all too fast and frenetic for me at the moment. I mentioned moving the ball quickly, 1 and 2 touch. across the park and in around the box, but everything is 100 miles an hour. They're running quickly with the ball, and they're trying to get rid of the ball too quickly, and makes mistakes.
Everybody knows that there's no second chances. The level after 90 minutes, it is a penalty shootout, straight knockout. Delightfully done by Martin. Cross was hit behind Abbott. To leave that to his goalkeeper, Rob Elliott, who's another graduate of the Charlton Academy. So many players have come through over the years. Scott Wagstaff, who's been given a night off tonight. He's 20 years of age, who scored in the league game at Brentford. More live football on Sky Sports. Sunderland versus Bolton from the Premier League. Sky Sports HD2 and 2. That's 12:30 this coming Saturday. Ipswich against Leicester from the Championship. Ipswich in some trouble, other in the semi-finals of the Carling Cup. That's at 5 on Sky Sports HD2 again on Saturday. Fry once more is the outlet for Charlton. Looking for Abbott, who clearly used his left arm. And it will be a yellow card.
Well, again, I'm not so sure about this decision. You see him battling with leg there, nudged a little bit. You've got two coming together like that. Those sort of things will happen. Look at the look of disbelief, the shake of the head. All it needs is a nudge from the centre-half to put you off balance, and it's going to hit you there. The right one for me.
Caution for Pavel Abbott. His last 4 games have all been in the cup competitions. Joe Benson and Joe Anyinsa, the preferred front two for Phil Parkinson in League One at the moment. Dean ignoring the run of Wright. Osborne. This was anticipated by Reid. Reid is taking on leg and manages to get in a shot which forces a save from Lee. Raycom. Reid again. And back come Brentford.
Said Reid could be a key for Charlton, and we saw why there. Accelerated away and got the shot away. For a save that Lee had to make. Dealt with it reasonably well.
Carl Reid has looked very lively, and he has been able to test Richard Lee. First real scoring opportunity that Charlton have had.
Yeah, uses his pace there. Goes one way, then the other, gets his shot away, and Lee deals with it quite well. Just a little bit of acceleration, gets him away. Just moves a little bit in the air. Anybody following up? You've got a player like Reid who's got that pace. Get it to him early.
Now his second season with Charlton Athletic, having joined them from Sheffield United. Jonathan Fortune has returned to Charlton as well from Sheffield United. He started the last 4 games in place of Christian Daly, who's been suspended, but Daly is back tonight. Away by Simpson. All his 5 goals this season have come in cup competitions. McDonald looking again for Simpson. And fullback Jenkinson put under pressure, but he's shown his resolve and kept his nerve.
That's really good tracking back there. Spotted what was about to happen, stuck with it.
Daly He's in his 21st season as a professional. It's a tremendous achievement. He's still going strong at the age of 37. Helped away by O'Connor. Fry. Samida. Now Raycon. McCormack. Raycon. It's a lovely ball to try and pick out Martin.
Again, it's well read. So that's going to be reversed inside. Just holds on a little bit too long. And tries to slot it in there. Fullback was always going to get there first.
It was a bit more inventive from Charlton. Thierry Raycon, who's now in his 4th season with the club. He was playing in France with Guingamp before arriving in England.
Again, just lacking that quality when it's needed. Alexander looking for quality there. Not quite had enough of it yet. Along with McDonald, the movement's been okay. Brentford certainly look more dangerous when they do play it to the feet of the 2 strikers and they get midfield coming onto them.
A good matchup between McDonald and Alexander and Doherty and Daly.
You get 2 strikers in the form they are. You need a little bit of experience against them. You don't get better than Doherty and Daly.
Doherty and Daly now making their way forward to try and take advantage of this Charlton free kick. And by Reid. He's met by Jenkinson, who's doing his best to ensure that the ball stays in play. I think there was a giveaway for the assistant on the far side, the effort he put in to try and ensure that the move was kept alive then.
Well, this is a better delivery this time. Hooked in with quality. Have to defend it. Arms are going up. When does it come off? He chases it as hard as he can. Can't keep it in.
Same approach from Charlton. Doherty is forward, joined now by Daly. Swept in by Reid. Fry.
They're trying to be too precise with these free kicks at times. In that area, just get it in the box, get it towards the penalty spot, just beat that first man.
Raycon. Knocked away by Legg. Eased on again by Alexander. You said it, Gary, there isn't a huge amount of quality just at the moment. No real clear-cut openings either. We saw that header from Alexander early on. We saw the shot from Reid for Charlton, but little else.
One save each for the keepers. Just need somebody in the centre of midfield just to calm things down a little bit. You feel that Raycon's the man for Charlton to do it. You're looking for somebody in midfield for Brentford to do the same, maybe Diagaraga.
The inclusion of Simpson has given Diagaraga the chance to adopt a more central role, his more preferred position for Brentford. free kick to Brentford. Symptom of a stop-start first half.
Really, it's a little bit loose again from the referee.
McCormack penalised. Driven in by Woodman. Missed by everybody. It was Alexander or Simpson there at the back post trying to get him behind Fry.
You feel that the defender's going to win this, doesn't get anything on it and just doesn't expect that to come through to him. You can't blame him for that. Everybody thought this was going to be a clean header, put behind for a corner, just misses it totally and do nothing when it comes towards him and just hits him and goes out for a goal kick. And look, he knows straight away that was a half chance.
Alexander scored one of Wembley's best ever goals, didn't he? That playoff final, League One playoff final for Millwall. Scored 2 in a game that lost 3-2 to Scunthorpe 2 years ago.
It was a great final, it really was.
Scored 2, might have had a hat-trick. Andy Scott and Phil Parkinson approached their team talks at half-time. Who'll be the happier of the two managers?
I'm not so sure, to be quite honest. I think it'll be 50-50. A great deal in it. Real goal-mouth moments. Just the one save from each keeper. All given away a lot in midfield. A little bit rushed at times. Defence is dominating on the whole. Osborne and Legg looking quite dominant for Brentford, and experiencing the other two, Doherty and Daly, doing well.
To safety by Elliott. No nonsense clearance by the Charlton goalkeeper.
Well, that long ball from the keeper's caused the biggest problem for Brentford so far.
Martin. Jenkinson is available, so to Abbott. Eventually it's O'Connor who clears. Some sterling work as always in the central midfield for Brentford. Donald's endeavour also appreciated as he managed to win Brentford an unlikely throw. Top scorer in the past 2 seasons. He managed 17 in the last campaign after recovering from a shoulder problem. Started out at Charlton but had 5 years in the non-league before he was persuaded back into league football by Southend United. There by Woodman. McCormack. Reed. Oh, the early ball has beaten everybody, and it nearly come through to Martin, but Lee has reacted swiftly and made the save.
Well, there's the quality he can produce again. They get it out to him well and early. 1-2 touches away then. He puts a ball right in the slot, missed at the near post, causes confusion. Charlton just can't capitalise. That's the sort of delivery, skidding off the surface, so difficult to defend. They just don't get the rub of the green there, Charlton. Could ride the lock.
I do feel it will be an error, a slip or a lapse, which presents one of these two teams with the first meaningful chance. It was almost a good opportunity for Lee Martin, and at the other end there was a rather risky chest back to Elliott, which so nearly presented Brentford with an opening. 2 extra minutes at the end of the first half. Jenkinson has looked very comfortable on his debut in the right back position. Dean sprint is on with Reed. because Bean gave Carl Reid a good 2 or 3 metres then, but Reid was quick out of the blocks and got back to make a challenge. Raycott. And again by Reid. Jenkinson. Last chance for Elliott to get the ball forward. Fry giving Daly a bit of work to do. Doherty. McCormack happy to drop back to receive. Reid again to take on Wright. Reid has done enough to win Charlton a corner kick. It will surely be the final action of the first half. Martin. And for the
Sloppy
moment,
from Brentford, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Didn't spot that short one.
Brentford simply switched off. And they still haven't cleared the danger. Raycon's there and Abbott's there. And the Brentford goal has survived intact. A flurry of activity at the end of what has been a disappointing 45 minutes. Only one real save for Richard Lee to make, and that was to keep out a skidding effort from Carl Reid, who has looked lively for Charlton during the first half. At Griffin Park in this Johnson's Paints Trophy Southern Section semi-final. Half-time, it's Brentford 0, Charlton Athletic 0.
When they met in the league back in October, Brentford were already 2 goals up by this stage, but nothing so far. We'll get Scott Minto's, Herman and Riderson's views on the first half in a second or two. There were chances, but we know in the Johnson's Paint Trophy, something has to give tonight.
New Astra experience just got bigger.
Brentford 0, Charlton 0 at half-time in this Johnson's Paint Trophy match, and someone in the crowd has just shouted out, "Can we go to penalties now?" It hasn't quite been as bad as that, has it, Scott?
Not quite, but I've got a feeling this, unless there's a massive mistake or a great bit of skill from someone, it will be going to penalties, because there haven't been that many chances. You know, looking at it from Brentford's point of view, I think the first sort of 20 minutes they did okay, and they came a lot more into it and created a couple. Charlton, I just think they need to get the ball wide a little bit more. They need to get Lee Martin into the game. Carl Reid has been Charlton's best player for me so far. He's been very dangerous. But it's all about sticking the ball in the back of the net. And to be honest with you, neither team has really looked that dangerous.
There have been a few chances, though, Herman, haven't there?
Yeah, there have been a couple. Like you just said, Reid has been a danger man for Charlton. And you know, I feel like they need to give him the ball a bit more. And you know, he looks like he's comfortable running with the ball and beating a player, and then of course you just need the players in the box to get at the end of it.
Yeah, there's a chance of goals in the second half, certainly. Yeah. In the first half, Gary Alexander had a decent header chance, didn't he? Hint of offside about it.
Yeah, well, it was more than a hint. It was definitely offside, but it was just good play, and that's what we want to see a little bit more of from both teams, really. Getting the ball into the centre forwards, and then just a little flick in behind. You can see he was half a yard offside, but it wasn't given, so therefore that's a really good chance. You know, the ball's played out wide. Simpson does really well to hook it back to the far post, and he gets above Jenkinson there, and he'll be disappointed he's not hit the target. If he does, he doesn't give Elliott much chance at all, because he's got good power on it. He's done the hard work by getting over the defender. As I say, just hit the target, and Brentford would have been 1 up.
And again, a Robbie Simpson free kick, Herman. The only change tonight for Brentford, Robbie Simpson. Not a bad free kick.
No, it gets a little deflection there, and you know, so Rob has done well, Elliott has done well there to stick this away. So
that's a really good save. I mean,
yeah, he sees it late there.
You can see with a guy who's 20 yards out, just to the right-hand side, he can try and go up and over the wall, and that's what a goalkeeper's thinking. But if you get beaten on your side, like he could have done, everyone will be looking and saying that's your fault. But so he was very brave. He stayed where he was. A little deflection, still a good save, tipping it around the post.
I think Gary Birtles in the gantry there said sort of 50-50 managers at half-time, both thinking, well, not bad, not good, but not bad.
Yeah, you know, I agree exactly what he said there, to be honest with you. I don't think either manager would be more happy than the other. I think both of them will probably be saying, listen, we need to get the ball down, we need to have a little bit more quality, especially in the final third. And Charlton were playing the 4-3-3 formation. They should have an extra man in the centre of midfield. They need to try and use that. For me, they've not really done that. At Brentford, I think they need to get the ball a little bit wider and get the ball in the box for the front two, who are very dangerous. Big Gary Alexander's good in the air. Charlie McDonald's good on the ground as well. They've not been given quality ball up to them. So perhaps both managers will be a little bit disappointed with the quality so far.
Charlton's wide men have got great potential, haven't they, if they get the ball? You know, a couple of fullbacks here. I know you both played that position. So are you happy the way they're not getting the ball out wide, Charlton, if you're a fullback for Brentford?
Well, yeah. From Brentford's point of view, of course, they'd be happy with that because
when they have the chance like this,
yeah,
they're producing something, aren't they?
Yeah, and it seems to be every time he gets it down the wing, Reid, he you know, he's so comfortable running with the ball, and you would like to see that as a defender, you know, test them out.
Yeah, I mean,
see what they've got.
You can see their counter-attack, and that might be one of the best ways for Charlton to actually score the goal, because suddenly they look very comfortable, Brentford, give the ball away, and then Carl Reid, suddenly they're on the back foot, all the defenders. This is a really good ball. You know, it's skidded across the surface, it's only 6 or 7 yards out. You can see that for a defender, it's an absolute nightmare to try and get a connection. And Lee Martin's done exactly the right thing. That's what you want. You want one of your strikers obviously going to be up there, but your other winger to be coming around the other side. And he didn't just quite get there. But that's what Charlton needs to do. Get the balls wide, get the ball in the box, and get numbers in the box.
The best chance to score is to counter-attack a counter-attack. You'll learn that on your coaching course.
Yeah.
Mark my words. That's what both managers will be saying, I should think, at half-time. A bit more attacking, either counter or not, in the second half. Otherwise, at 90, it will go to penalties. Live games on Saturday on Sky Sports. Sunderland against Bolton from 12:30, HD2 and 2. From the Championship on Saturday, Ipswich against Leicester, 5 o'clock, HD2 and 2. And in Scotland on Saturday again, Hamilton against Celtic from 12:30, HD4 and 4. Other games in this competition, Johnson's Paint Trophy this evening. In the northern section, Tranmere 0, Huddersfield 1. Jordan Rhodes, who had a spell here on loan at Griffin Park. And in the southern section, Bristol Rovers 1, Exeter 0, Will Hoskins. The winners there will play the winners here. 0-0 here between Brentford and Charlton. I'm just wondering, Herman, there was no really big claim for a penalty, but Gary Alexander, was he fouled by Christian Daly in the first half, in the penalty area?
As a centre-back and a defender, you know, you absolutely never a penalty, not in a million years.
He does wrap his arm around him, doesn't he?
Yeah, but you know, there would be so many silly penalties then if a foul is a foul, I suppose, but for me, it's never a penalty.
Gary Birtles made the point that anywhere else on the pitch that would be a foul, and he's probably right. But even so, as a defender, you don't see many of those given, and you know there would be 20 or 30 penalties given all the time. And the funny thing was, is looking around at the Brentford players, there was no real appeal. So I think that tells a story as well that no one believed it was a penalty, but there was contact there.
It's 0-0 going into the second half, and our commentators are Gary Birtles and Tony Jones.
Thank you, George. Yeah, we saw a glimpse there of Andy Scott's assistant Terry Bullivant. Notebook in his right hand. I wonder if they've been plotting the penalties already, because that, of course, is the alternative if these scores are level at the end of 90 minutes. No extra time tonight. It's a position that Brentford have been in on more than one occasion this season. Twice they've enjoyed success in the Johnson's Paints Trophy in a penalty shootout. They also won through against Everton in the Carling Cup. They had a good run in the Carling Cup. They saw Hull from the Championship. They won on penalties against Everton before they bowed out again in a shootout to Birmingham City. Are we to get a winner inside 90 minutes. Well, don't rule out Charlton, because they've made something of a habit this season of scoring late goals. 5 times they've struck in the 89th minute or later. If you include the last 5 minutes of any game, you can add another 3 goals. It's a tribute to their staying power, Gary, if nothing else.
Yeah, good teams go right to the whistle, don't they? So they should do. It takes a second to score a goal.
Few clear-cut opportunities in the first half. Simpson's up, Alexander's there, and Doherty clears. It's a huge leap by Alexander to get up above Daly initially. A bit more purpose from Brentford at the start of the second half.
And they had to take the initiative, didn't they? Come out strong, start of this second half. They've certainly done that. Put a bit of quality in the box, put Charlton under a bit of pressure.
Nothing wrong with Brentford's away form. They've won their last 5 away games in League One. They have bowed out already of the FA Cup. They lost a replay to Aldershot. Lost 4 home games, as many as all of last season.
Well, there's the ball, difficult to deal with. It's a decent header back in, causes a problem. Downward header, nobody can get on the end of that in a striped shirt. That's the ball that causes the confusion. High hanging ball, looping header, headed down, and there's nobody there to tap it in an empty net. Positive start from Brentford.
Simpson helping to create the opening, given his chance this evening because Sam Saunders picked up an injury yesterday in training. Simpson offers Brentford a different alternative. Reid, impressive for Charlton in the first half. Not entirely sure he was intending to take that on himself, but he was waiting for the run of Abbott.
Well, again, he's trying to do the right thing. He's trying to put the ball in early in a good area for a striker to attack. Too much on it, but he's still attempting to do the right thing, and you just feel sooner or later he might just get that right, and somebody might just get on the end of one of them.
Plenty of attacking flair on the bench for Charlton this evening as well. Johnny Jackson and Johan Inser and Paul Benson too. Benson and Jackson have got plenty of goals this season. Brentford finished 9th in League One at the end of last season following their promotion. They were boosted by the arrival of the Arsenal goalkeeper Wojciech Szczesny. Szczesny, who did so well for Arsenal in the Premier League at Old Trafford on Monday evening. Clearly he developed during his time at Griffin Park. Another one who came in was John Bostock, the young Tottenham midfielder. At full stretch to keep the ball in play.
I'd be disappointed if I was Martin there. He's broke his neck to get the ball, try and get it in play, and nobody attempts to get across. Look at the ball there. Everybody thinks it's going out. Everybody stops in a blue shirt. He gets there, puts a ball in. Nobody might have got near it because it was a near post, but at least make an effort.
Martin, who's played in all 4 of Charlton's fixtures in this competition this season, on loan from Ipswich Town. He's in the starting 11 for Phil Parkinson at the start of the season, first 2 or 3 months of the season, but has since lost his place. He actually made his Ipswich debut in a friendly fixture against Brentford at the start of last season and scored a goal inside 8 minutes. Some start to his Ipswich career, the former Manchester United junior. Parkinson, vastly experienced at this level. He led Colchester into the Championship. Had a brief spell in charge of Hull City and then joined Charlton as Alan Pardew's number 2. And now he's lost his goalkeeping coach as well, Andy Woodman, who's teamed up with Pardew again at Newcastle United. Brentford's goalkeeping coach is Simon Royce, who once played in goal for Charlton Athletic. Such is the merry-go-round of London clubs. Jenkinson unable to find McCormack. Ball was won back by O'Connor. Helped on again by Alexander. Bean anticipating the run of Wright, but instead has picked out O'Connor. Woodman. Simpson. Challenged by Jenkinson. He's had a good debut, the 18-year-old in the right back position, isn't he?
Yeah, he's done well. Stays on his feet. At age, you're tempted to lunge in and try and win the ball all the time. He's have a calm head on his shoulders.
Woodman tries to pick out McDonald. It will be a goal kick.
The referee was in a good position to give that the way he did. One of those 50-50 balls are coming together. Well, so difficult to know which way to give that. Gives the benefit of the doubt to the defenders this time.
Doherty, who returned to Luton last Thursday, where he started his professional career at Luton. And Tottenham, a spell at Norwich, where he was captain under Brian Gunn, but lost his place after Paul Lambert took charge at the start of last season. Republic of Ireland international, alongside a former Scottish international. Lee isn't being allowed to take this free kick because Keith Hill, the referee, is having a quiet word in the ear of Alan McCormack. Helped on by Reid. O'Connor. Simpson. Getting away from Jenkinson. It's Simpson with a shot. And he was just put under sufficient pressure there by Doherty.
Well, it's just something like this that could lift the game and change the game. Look at this, the ability to run and accelerate away from defenders. The shot's not a good one. He's slightly off balance when he hits it, but it's that ability just to run and get between defenders. Look, just off balance when he hits it, comes off the side of his foot, but that could lift people. You can hear the crowd, it's lifted them a little bit.
Robbie Simpson, a latecomer to the professional game. He was at Cambridge City while he was at school. He then took a degree in sports science at Loughborough. Spells with Huddersfield, a very successful spell with Huddersfield, and then Coventry.
See, they're trying to rush things again. No need to do that there. It's a good area, good opportunity just to work the ball a little bit easier.
Martin, dispossessed by Simpson. Simpson, whose season has been disrupted a little bit by a hamstring injury. He's still on loan from Huddersfield Town. Right. He's done enough to win Brentford a corner kick.
That's the way to play it. Just be patient. Just hold the ball, slow it down a little bit, get your pass right, and you get a corner out of it. Next best thing to getting in the box. Both teams have tried to be a little too perfect and get that perfect ball, that long diagonal ball at times, that long ball that puts somebody clear.
Elliott has McDonald and Alexander for company right on the goal line. Helped away by Abbott, and he's been able to find Reid. Closely watched by Bean. Reid goes on and is fouled and is also hurt.
Oh, that's a poor challenge. He's clearly hurt, and then Bean goes and pulls both his legs. And Pace backs himself, doesn't he? That scythes him down. What is he trying to do there? He's got no chance of getting this at all. From behind, scythes him down. And then when he's down, he tries to grab hold of both his legs and make it a little bit worse for him.
Touch of desperation been cautioned. It means that he will miss the home fixture against Huddersfield this coming weekend.
Well, here's the only man who's sparked this game into life. Probably Brentford realise that. The only way they can stop him is by doing what they just did.
Phil Parkinson with Tim Breaker. Reed back on his feet, he should be okay. Doherty and Daly both set. McCormack on the edge of the penalty area. They had a free kick, now they've not even got the corner. A decision which has baffled Martin.
Even if it's not the right decision, the free kick was just poor. And there's the attempted ball in the box. And for me, that is a corner. And there's the free kick, look. Just beats nobody at the near post. He's nowhere near a blue shirt. Just lift it into the box. Just put pressure on the defender. Make it easy for them.
Brentford 2-0 winners at Southampton at the weekend. They've climbed to 10th in League One, just 2 points outside the playoff places. They're very much the team in form, elapsed by Charlton on Sunday, having been beaten at the Valley by Walsall. And Scott was saying, we are the form team, except that his Brentford side had a poor start to the season, but they've gained a little bit of momentum. Felt that going out of the FA Cup to Aldershot was maybe a bonus, a plus, the fact that they managed to get a free weekend in November. 8 games since the start of November. It's a busy time for players at every level, and particularly in Leagues 1 and 2, where squads can be stretched to the absolute limit. Scott has been told that money will be available to him if he wants to strengthen in the January transfer window. I wonder if the prospect of penalties is going through Richard Lee's mind at the moment. McDonald. Bean. Cormac with the interception. O'Connor. On again by Woodman. Alexander. Finding Simpson. Reed is caught by O'Connor. Keith Hill says play on, felt that Charlton had the advantage. The referee is just having a word with Kevin O'Connor. It was a sharp challenge on Reed. I just wonder if the referee will bring O'Connor across. Yes, he is. He's going to produce a yellow card here for Kevin O'Connor.
Well, Reed and Martin swap flanks. Not a bad thing. There's a lot of joy on the left-hand side, Reed. He'll try his luck down the right-hand side. It did look like a lunge, didn't it? Just gets his foot there. Bit of trickery. Gets it away. There's the lunge. Late. Not a good one. Said he got the ball. No, you didn't. Just gets a toe to it before. Challenge comes in. Didn't get the ball.
McDonald. He was trying to ease the ball through towards Simpson there, and it was deflected away by Doherty, who just did enough. Developing into a much better second half. Now played. 30 minutes away from the possibility of a penalty shootout to decide who will go into the Southern Section final. Winners will play either Bristol Rovers or Exeter City. Doherty climbing over McDonald.
It is a foul, isn't it? All over him.
McDonald, who was Charlton's Young Player of the Year when he made his debut in the first team 10 years ago now. Driven in by Woodman. Helped on by Bean. McDonald's there.
See what I've been talking about. If you get the ball into that area in the penalty box, not be too precise, you get a chance to get ahead. Yeah, it was a comfortable one for the keeper, but at least it got in an area where you could do something. You could maybe attack it. There it comes in. There's it. It's a long way out. It's behind him. But at least it beats everybody and gives you an opportunity.
That they don't enjoy a repeat of last season where they were in the top two until the turn of the year. Then they slipped to fourth and they ended up in the League One playoffs where they lost out to Swindon Town. Currently fourth in League One. Focus at the moment though is a place in the second final of the Johnson's Paints Trophy. Beyond that, a two-legged final, Southern final, and they have perhaps a day out at Wembley.
Let's see if we can see a bit of quality come in the box now. They're producing a bit better than Charlton in regards of quality when they get in the areas they need to produce.
It's the same tactic with pressure on the goalkeeper Elliott. McDonald and Alexander making it difficult for Rob Elliott to get anywhere near the ball. Simpson's made his move. There is McCormack who's able to clear the danger.
I rest my case, Your Honour. You put a ball in there, you force your opponents to defend it. Look how difficult this is when it comes in with that pace and that quality to defend. And it is good defending. It had to be good defending.
Done again by Jenkinson. Woodman. Moved away by Daly. Reed looking for alternatives and didn't get one.
Brentford looking the more likely at the moment. The problem Charlton are finding, they're not getting enough support for Abbott when it goes towards him. Reed and Martin have got to get closer to him.
Not long before Brentford make their first change. They're keen to make that change right now before they take this free kick as well. Marcus Bean, who is going off to be replaced by Sam Wood. Bean has been rested for the FA Cup ties, but who has been a regular this season for Andy Scott's Brentford. Sam Wood, who's just on his way back from injury. One absentee currently for Brentford is Miles Weston, who's got a hamstring problem. He would normally occupy that role on the left side of midfield. Has a groin injury. Chance for Wood. Woodman with the free kick. And there was a handball there. Further frustration for Brentford.
Yeah, bounced up clearly Arm came out outstretched, but again, it was a decent ball in. You just feel if they keep putting the ball in with this sort of delivery, you might just get something out of it. The greatest defending you'll see under pressure. See Osborne getting in there and Leg getting in there. It just skids through onto the arm. Just saying there, the throw in down the line, he flicks it on and he's saying, well, who's getting on the end of that? He's throwing it towards him, he heads the ball, somebody has to go and make a move.
Brentford in the second half have offered a bit more than Charlton, who do have possibilities now, and it's Martin with the header, which is way over the top.
Oh, I'll tell you what a good chance this is. What determination to get that ball in the box. He looks second favourite here all the time, down on the floor, gets up and then puts that ball in. He attacks it well, and that's a poor header by anybody's standards, I'm afraid. Look at the desire to win that ball and get it in the box. Hangs it up and just gets it totally wrong. And he knew straight away. Head in hands.
Martin has got 3 goals so far this season. Totally different front three for Charlton this evening, following their defeat at home to Walsall on Sunday. Diaguraga. Wood just on as a substitute. Knocked on by Osborne. Guard. Alexander finding Simpson, sliced away by Daly, and eventually cleared by McCormack.
Could he have had an attempt at the first chance there when it came across? But again, the delivery in the box is a good one. It's difficult to defend. They work it well across the box here. They're patient, one touch, and there, put straight in. Can't deal with it particularly well. Comes at a difficult height for him. He might have had a chance to hook that on target, but there, one touch in that danger area. Daly doesn't deal with it well. Just can't get that ball down to get a shot away. They keep asking questions, don't they? They keep putting that ball in the Charlton box and not dealing with it particularly well at the moment.
On the halfway point in the second half. Andy Scott will be pleased with the endeavour shown by his Brentford team in the second half. They've had far more possession, they've looked the livelier of the two teams, but still nothing to show for it. Years ago, it was a Brentford team who were in League One who took on Charlton from the Premier League in the 5th round of the FA Cup. They'd enjoyed a success against Sunderland, who were also Premier League opposition. Martin Allen was in charge of Brentford at the time. How times change, eh?
You just feel if Charlton got somebody up there with Abbott, it might start to change a little bit. He's a little bit too isolated at the moment.
Of attacking alternatives on the bench available to Phil Parkinson. Wood, eager to make an impression. Here's Woodman. Doherty again mopping up at the back. When does it start go through players' minds that there is the possibility of that shootout? When do they say, we don't want to make any mistakes, we don't want to take too many risks?
It just wouldn't come into my mind. You know, as a player, you want to win the game when you can in the full 90 minutes. You don't think about anything until that actually comes to bear. Get on with what's out there, try and win the game. And then you don't win the game, then you do take the penalties.
Diaguraga being held. Charlton are poised to make a double substitution, but they thought about delaying the substitution until after they dealt with this free kick. So Lee Martin is being withdrawn. Joe Anyinsa will be on in his place. And the second change sees Alan McCormack go off. He's been a finalist in this competition with Southend United when they missed out to Wrexham. And on comes Johnny Jackson, League One Player of the Month for November, or one of the nominees, and Phil Parkinson for the manager's vote as well.
Well, very positive change, just what I've mentioned before they came on there. Looking to get somebody up there with Abbott. Engage the two centre-halves a bit more.
Outgone by Abbott, looking again for Reid. Watched all the way by the experienced right, former Sunderland and Liverpool defender who was distraught when he had his contract at Coventry ended at the end of last season. He was training on his own for much of the summer. Missed the camaraderie of the dressing room and was offered a trial with Brentford, and they gave him a contract in October. Won by Simpson. Wood has looked very bright since coming on as Brentford's substitute. A double change now by Charlton. Lee Martin wasn't too happy when he was replaced by Joe Anyinsa. McCormack trooped off as well to be replaced now by Johnny Jackson.
I have to say, Reid on the other side has looked more of a threat than Martin. Can't really have any qualms about being substituted.
One final push maybe in the last 20 minutes. Two positive substitutions by Phil Parkinson, giving Brentford and Andy Scott something a little bit different to think about. Abbott, Anyinsa. And Anyinsa goes down right on the edge of the penalty area. Well, was it inside or outside? Just on the edge. Keith Hill was waiting for confirmation from the assistant on the near side, but
a few concerned faces here, without a doubt, there, just on the outside. I'm sure he gets caught by his own player. He does. Coming together, the two of them. Who spotted that? I'll tell you what, that would have been good if they'd have given a penalty, wouldn't they? Well, these are the moments games turn on.
Bizarre free kick for Charlton. Lee organising his defensive wall. Jackson just on as a substitute. Top scorer this season for Charlton Athletic. He's got 6 in his last 7 games. Thumped in a deflected free kick in the FA Cup at Luton last Thursday. He scored from a similar angle, similar range. Jackson set. And the wall has done its job, but there might be something here for Lee to do, and the follow-up is a major disappointment from Fry.
Massive disappointment. Came out maybe to the wrong player. Saw his moment of glory time. Not the best of free kicks. Blocked quite comfortably. Ball never looked 10 yards away. And again, he just tried to smash it too hard. A number of times I say, try and take a little bit of pace off the ball. Concentrate and hit the target.
Fry, who's managed just 1 goal for Charlton this season. He scored on his debut back at Huddersfield in August. O'Connor. Woodman picking out Simpson. Knocked on again by Woodman.
It's a little intricate there on the edge of the box. They're trying to do the right thing. It's the area to do it, to be intricate.
Brentford now getting a little bit of encouragement. Hasn't been too much of that so far. Well, that hasn't even gone out for a goal kick. It's gone out for a throw on the far side.
Most composed of finishes, was it?
Not too sure if they want to laugh or cry. Applause just to keep the hands warm.
One or two prayers in there as well.
The time is running out for both these teams. Shootout at the end of 90 minutes. Are we to get a winner inside 90 minutes? Do we have the drama of a penalty shootout yet again as far as Brentford are concerned?
They continue to put quality in that Charlton box. Can they do it again this time? Get something out of it.
And by Woodman. And back across the face of goal and eventually headed to safety by Fry.
Well, that's possibly the best delivery I've seen in the match so far, without a doubt.
Woodman's free kicks almost as effective as those for Jackson this season for Charlton. Fabulous run by Jackson.
Well, there's the difference. Charlton just have not had that quality at all in that final third.
Doherty just managing to keep the ball in play. Knocked on again by Reed. Jenkinson. Windsor slow to react.
Well, said about the quality Brentford put in, and here's another one from Woodman, probably the best so far, and two men getting each other's way there. That's a terrific opportunity when you look at that again. But the two right together, not a blue shirt near them, and neither of them can direct it on target. Best chance of the match.
So put McDonald on the back, taking it away from Osborne. McDonald again. So unfortunate, almost found Simpson. Now there's a chance for Charlton to counter. Reed with three to pick out inside the penalty area. Brilliant play by Reed. And the cross is overhead. It's been picked up by Jenkinson. He decides to blast it straight at Woodman. What a fantastic run, though, by Carl Reed.
Again, but I think he picked the wrong option there.
So Robbie Simpson has done his bit this evening for Brentford, getting his chance because of the injury in training yesterday to Sam Saunders, and on in his place is Michael Spillane. And Charlton really are relying on the big guns now because Pavel Abbott is going off. Paul Benson is his replacement. Yinsa. Still with Yinsa. Reed. Shot has been deflected, has come out to Benson. Reed again. In by Fry. There is some respite eventually for the Brentford defence, who was suddenly stretched. Often said, isn't it, when a team makes a substitution, they can be a little bit vulnerable.
Well, if he'd have gone down there and Yinsa, that could have been a penalty. Stayed on his feet, maybe too honest for his own good. He just try and put the ball back in, blocked again.
Parkinson, who initially decided to give Messrs Benson and Yinsa and Jackson an evening off, or part of the evening off at least. Benson's got 7 goals this season, but only 1 in his last 8 games. The striker recruited from Dagenham and Redbridge. And Yinsa. Jackson. It's a clever back heel as well. Racon. And the bubble almost deceiving Richard Lee. It's an unexpected corner for Charlton.
It wasn't a particularly good shot, was it? Jackson does well, just lays it off. He's going to put it in the box. He's right, more or less a side foot, but whips off that surface straight into his midriff and just can't handle it. Bounces out for a corner, skidding off that surface.
Doherty's in there, also Daly. Made the move to the edge of the 6-yard area. You couldn't connect properly.
Well, they just haven't caused as many problems from set pieces as Brentford have caused them, Charlton.
There's been 1 penalty shootout already this evening. Winners here will play Exeter City 5-4. They have won through against Bristol Rovers in a penalty shootout. Earlier kick-off in that fixture. Woodman again taking charge of the free kick. Osborne's gone forward. And Yinsa. Racon to find Reed.
Reed has tried everything he possibly can to get something out of this game for his team.
Reed was on loan during the second half of last season from Sheffield United, back now in London, the former West Ham United junior.
This is what Reed is capable of and what he's shown all evening. Everybody thought he was going to put it in there, accelerates away again, just picks the wrong option, should have smashed it for me across the face of the goal. Anything can happen when you do that. We've seen how difficult both teams have found it to defend when it skids in the box, around the 6-yard box.
Fry's penalised. No chance for Brentford to push Osborne and leg forward.
Just grabbing hold of his shirt there, no need for that. It's a bad position to give a free kick away at this time in a match. The assistant saying exactly what happened.
Lots of jostling inside the penalty area. I think they'll insist that they stop holding. Experienced figure of Gary Doherty there with Leon Legg. Everybody's getting a little bit twitchy. Just 5 minutes remaining now. Driven in by Woodman. And it's thumped against the crossbar by Osborne. Great chance, came to him so quickly, but maybe that was the moment for Carly Osborne and the moment for Brentford.
But again, look at the quality that's coming in. So hard to defend that, and he just hooks it goal bound, and he's so unlucky to see it hit the bar. Look, so difficult, that many bodies in, you can't get a clean header as a defender. When it comes in, see who wins that. Whoever wins it, just not well won. It comes down to Osborne. Look at this for a hook, takes it early. He's so unlucky just to see that hit the top of the bar. That many bodies in there when that ball comes in that you can't get anything clean on it, and it just bounced down to Osborne, and he nearly steals the glory.
Osborne, the centre-half, who over the years has shown his adaptability, started out as a right-back with Brentford. Debuted at the age of 17, now holding together the Brentford defence alongside Leon Legg. In by Jenkinson. Benson up there with Legg. Benson was top scorer with Dagenham and Redbridge last season.
Something off the ball there. He was shoved over, not until the referee saw that.
O'Connor.
Semedo
is acting as peacemaker, or trying to, but now it's Alexander who has been called over with Semedo.
Just having a quiet word, the referee. And this is why there's his position. There, just a push over, you can't do that. There we go, a little talking to. And there's the shove over, referee close to it. You can't do that, you can't raise your arms like that.
Hill with his eyes still firmly focused on Semedo. Given away by Spillane. Fry. Doherty. Benson, still teaching when he came into the Football League with Dagenham and Redbridge. Not too many part-time professionals, are there? Not these days, anyway. And Scott urging one last big effort from his Brentford team. It's a position that they found themselves in on more than one occasion already this season.
Charlton giving too many free kicks away. So bad as the last one that was whipped in, nearly scored from, but keeps raining in their box, the ball.
Charlton, who missed out on an appearance in the League One playoff final at the end of last season when they lost a shootout to Swindon Town. Driven in by Woodman. Dracon was being held. Last minute of the 90. Can we find a winner in normal time? Will this go the way of Exeter and Bristol Rovers? 2-2, and Exeter winning through 5-4 on penalties. Benson goes down. Charlton were looking for a penalty, but they're not going to get one.
Benson does really well here. Oh, here we go. Handbags again. Not happy with the dive there. Well, they thought he dived. Benson does well, wins the first ball, gets the second ball, and then just goes down far too easily. If he stays on his feet, he's got a chance here. No, he's not touched him. Stay on your feet, you get a shot away.
Benson going head-to-head with Guraga. 3 extra minutes, a minimum of 3 extra minutes we're to have. Then we're a penalty shootout and 2 games away from a Wembley final. Southern section final is over 2 legs. The semi-final, just the 1 game. And Yinsa, he could win it here. And he's denied by an impeccable interception by Leon Legg, one of the newcomers to the Brentford squad.
So when you get in an area like that, this late stage, you have to get that perfectly right, and he certainly did that.
Yeah, he ended his first season with Brentford as their player of the season.
And this is how good the timing of it was. And he wouldn't come down for him, but he had to get that right.
In the Isthmian League with Tunbridge before he joined Brentford. Won by McDonald. He had some 12 months. He was the player of the round in the FA Cup. He did get a trip to Wembley last season. Will he go back there now? There's a chance here, and it's one which remarkably Brentford haven't been able to take.
Well,
it was a fantastic chance.
What a chance this is. Now, was there a hint of offside when he plays this ball? No, that looked pretty close, just onside. Gets his first touch right, takes it with the outside of his right. It's good interplay by the 2 strikers. Good first touch, and just puts it past the post. What a chance. Does everything right there. He was onside. Jenkinson on that right-hand side just plays him on.
Charlie McDonald, normally so reliable in front of goal, against his first club, Charlton Athletic, and with the chance of putting Brentford through.
Oh, could he have gone with his left foot? Would he have been better going with his left foot? He was with the outside of his right, and we saw the result.
Back up. Well, back by O'Connor. Last chance here for Charlton. Reed on his way. And the sprint has come too late. And the run was mistimed. He was offside. To mind catching runs from Kyle Reed, who's had his problems with injury this season and is relishing the run out that he's been given by Phil Parkinson. Spillane decides to leave the throw. Still, they can't find an opening. They might do so now, though. It's come right the way through, and it's been flashed across the face of goal again. Sam Wood with the chance.
Well,
2 great, glorious chances now in this.
The long throw causes the problem. There's the flick. Held up really well, and this ball's put in there. There's the flick off the Charlton player, and he does everything right again. The first touch is terrific here. Look at this for hold-up play. Calm as you like. There's the ball put in. Don't deal with it. Good first touch, and just smashes it wide. Charlton must have feared that was going to nestle in the back of the net.
Sam Wood reflects on what might have been, as will Charlie McDonald as well. They had 2 great chances to win this for Brentford late on, but it's finished Brentford 0, Charlton Athletic 0, and we've got a penalty shootout next.
Well, we know 3 of the 4 area finalists. Huddersfield have beaten Tranmere by 2-0. Jordan Rhodes, formerly on loan to Brentford, got both goals for Huddersfield. So Huddersfield will play Carlisle in the Northern final. Exeter are through in the Southern area semi-final. They've beaten Bristol Rovers on penalties 5-4 after drawing 2-2 after 90 minutes. And the winners here will play the winners there. So this has also gone to penalties. Brentford, the shootout specialist this season, they've got to this stage of the competition after winning 2 penalty shootouts. This is their 5th penalty shootout of the season so far. So Brentford will fancy their chances, but Scott, they should have scored, shouldn't they, in the final few moments?
Well, it was a game of very few chances until the last 5 minutes. First of all, Craig Woodman with a great cross coming in there, and then there's Carly Osborne, really unlucky, reacting really quickly and just couldn't quite keep it down. Good unselfish play from Gary Alexander, and he was onside, Charlie McDonald, but really he just tried with the outside of his right foot. He should have done a little bit better there through one-on-one. And here, just at the final, Sam Wood, it was a good touch and strike. The angle was very, very tight. He did everything he could possibly do apart from get it on target. But, yeah, Andy Scott will probably be thinking, well, we should have won that in 90 minutes.
But Herman, Charlton are thinking, well, you know, a second chance now for us.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially when Charlie was through, that was the best chance of the game. And, you know, an old boy coming to see meet their old club. Usually, that's usually the story. Strikers stick them away. But, yeah, Charlton will be delighted with that. And, Brentford will be the team that is a bit more disappointed not taking their chances in the end.
It looks like the penalties will be taken into the end where the Charlton supporters are. There was some concern over fireworks being thrown from the Brentford end. So I think they've decided to go down to the Charlton supporters end of the pitch. We'll confirm that in a moment.
I do think it makes a big difference, though, George, to be honest with you. The fact that Brentford have had the experience this season of the penalty shootouts. They know what they want to do. I mean, I'm sure Rob Elliott would have studied about certain players, what way they'd put them, but I think it just gives you that little bit of experience, that extra experience that Andy Scott, I'm sure both managers would have been practicing before this game. But you can't really legislate and recreate the kind of doing it in a match situation, a pressure situation, so I think it will make a difference.
It looks like those fireworks from the Brentford end have cost them the chance of having the penalties into their own supporters.
Yeah, that could make a bit of a difference as well. You know, they're going into the Charlton fans, the Charlton players certainly would have been happy with that. So it's going to be a pretty exciting end.
Yep, we've got penalties then to decide this Southern Area semi-final. Goalless after 90 minutes. We're now straight to penalties, and the winners will play Exeter in the Southern Area final. They've gone through on penalties this evening as well. Commentators Gary Birtles and Tony Jones.
And stepping forward first, Charlton's Johnny Jackson on as a second half substitute up here against Richard Lee. Nothing that the managers can do now. It's Jackson, and it's a great save by Lee. Straight down the middle by the normally reliable Johnny Jackson, but Lee stood big and made the save.
Tell you what, not many goalkeepers stay in the centre of the goal from a penalty. And Jackson must be thinking, how unlucky am I? He smashed it as hard as he could down the middle. That's usually the thing to do, because keepers usually go one way or the other. He didn't that time, and he stayed strong.
O'Connor, the skipper, who scores. Brentford have the advantage.
Well, you get it in this area, right in that side netting. Keepers can't save those. Perfectly placed, not hit with the greatest of power. Doesn't need to be when you put him in the side netting.
Brentford, of course, this season have been here before. This is their 5th penalty shootout of the season. Richard Lee, who saved from Jermaine Beckford when Brentford was successful in the Carling Cup in the 3rd round win over Everton. He's saved from Jackson already, and he's denied Rackham. Fabulous save by Lee. What a save that was.
That's brilliant. That is quite brilliant. Really is. The first penalty save, he stayed still, and it's smashed straight down his throat. This one, look at the movement. That's going in the bottom corner. Not quite as good as the previous one, but it's still an excellent save. Really is. What goes through keepers' minds? First one, he just stands stock still, and it hits him, you know, stays in the middle of the goal. The second one just guesses the right way and pulls off a terrific save.
Charlie McDonald, who missed that great chance against his former club late on. Doesn't miss this time, 2-0 now.
Well, same corner, both penalties for Brentford. Look at it, measured run up, just smashes it low and hard. And the previous one from Rakon wasn't hit with as much power and allowed Lee to get across to it.
Reed, can he beat Lee? No! Unbelievable, a hat-trick of penalty saves by Richard Lee.
Well, that's unbelievable, quite unbelievable. Reed must have thought that was in. I think everybody thought this was in. Look at this. Look at the agility. That is absolutely unbelievable. Fantastic. And in there he goes across the line and in. He didn't deserve that to go in. Absolutely fantastic.
3 penalty saves by Richard Lee. Mickey Spillane then. Can he do it? No! Elliott saves and Charlton have a little bit of hope.
Well, the Brentford penalties have gone that way. Guesses the right way. Good height. Quite in the corner. Action-packed, isn't it, this penalty shootout?
2-0 the advantage. Three penalties each. A blast from Doherty. Lee is beaten at last.
Oh, the experienced head. Coolly slots it. He looked that confident, didn't he? Lee thinking he can save everything. And up until that moment he had. Well, now the nerves come in.
Gary Alexander, a teammate of Andy Scott's at Leyton Orient. This will take Brentford through, and they've done it! Brentford prove themselves to be the penalty kings yet again.
Well, no nerves there, was there? That was cool as you like. Slotted beautifully.
Well, it was a disappointing game, but it was a fantastic penalty shootout. Full marks to Richard Lee, the Brentford goalkeeper, who didn't get much of a look in at Watford. But he has come to the rescue yet again in a penalty shootout here. He needed the help, of course, of those around him. O'Connor scored from the penalty spot. McDonald scored from the penalty spot. There was a blip when Spillane was denied, but Gary Alexander pounced to make it 3-1, and that was enough for Brentford. Brentford go through then to the Southern Area final. They will play Exeter, who also triumphed in a shootout this evening. They won by 5 goals to 4 in a shootout after a 2-2 draw. It's finished goalless after 90 minutes. It is Brentford who go through after the shootout.
And they'll play Exeter in the Southern Area final. Definitely worth waiting for the end of this match, the final few minutes of normal time and the penalties. Well worth the wait. Coming up for you, more live football. Super Sunday is Blackpool against Tottenham from 1 o'clock, Sky Sports HD1 and 1. And Chelsea against Manchester United from 3:30, again, Sky Sports 1 and HD1 and Sky 3D. A great finish here. We'll talk to some of the people involved very shortly and get the views of Scott Minto and Herman Haradison as Brentford go through to the area final to meet Exeter. Dramatic penalty shootout. Richard Lee, what a hero. Gary Alexander finished it off. Well, we waited a long time, but it was a great finish here at Griffin Park. A fantastic penalty shootout. Brentford are through to the area final. We'll get the views of these guys in a moment or two. Let's go straight down there to get the views of the man of the match, Richard Lee, with those fantastic penalty saves, and Gary Alexander, who scored the winning penalty with Patrick Davison.
Richard, another penalty shootout, another special night for Brentford.
Yeah, fantastic. You know, it wasn't maybe not the best spectacle in the world, but you know, in the end we got the result, and obviously, well, semi-final.
You've been involved in 5 shootouts now, won 4 of them. You've made 5 saves yourself. Yeah. What's the secret?
Do you know what? I don't even know. It's just get a feeling when I'm up there. It was a funny one today. I actually did a session with, I've got to give Dave Sabbott a quick mention. Did a session with him this morning, and to be honest, we went through exactly this scenario, and yeah, it's happened.
What about Johnny Jackson's penalty? Because you just stayed still for that. What was the reason for that?
Yeah, to be honest, I got told. Simon Royce, the goalkeeper coach here, who's been fantastic for me this season. He said he's the one he saw him do a couple this season, both scored down the middle. So I stayed big and thankfully got something on it.
And Gary, nice for you to finish it off against Charlton.
Yeah, no, definitely 4th pen. I didn't think it was going to go that far, but lucky enough it went to the 4th pen. I got to put the finishing touch to it, but it's all thanks to the big man.
It's quite a tight, physical game to watch. What was it like to play in?
Yeah, no, it's a tough game. It's a London derby. It always is, whether it's league or it's a semi-final of Johnston Paint Trophy. It's going to be a tough game, and that's exactly what it was. And we had the chances to win it in 90 minutes, but it wasn't to be.
Are these penalty wins just luck? Because you've won 3 now in this competition, or is there something more to it?
No, a few of the boys practice penalties after training, etc., and it's paying off. Obviously, as you said, we've won 5 penalty shootouts now, and Rich has made 5 saves, and we've not missed many.
And you had a mixed day last time you played at Wembley with Millwall. Looking forward to getting back there?
Yeah, definitely. We've got Exeter in the next round, and hopefully we can get back to Wembley.
Richard, as Gary says, Exeter stand between you and Wembley. Looking forward to that?
Well, the trip down to Exeter is a bit of a trek. So apart from that, no, we'll obviously go into it, you know, with a lot of confidence. We played them already this season, beaten before, so you know, why not?
Is the lure of Wembley growing now as you get further on in this competition?
Yeah, no, it's somewhere I've never played. I don't think many of the boys have played there. So, yeah, you know, 1 game away from Wembley, it's a great feeling.
Well, you are the Johnston's Paint man of the match. Gary, if you do the honours, please. Well done.
Thank you.
3 consecutive penalty shootouts to get Brentford this far in the competition. That says a lot, doesn't it?
Definitely, and you know, we spoke about it after the end of 90 minutes, about how that experience of getting through and having them this season already will probably pay, and I think that's exactly what happened. There weren't particularly bad penalties from Charlton, but Richard Lee made some wonderful saves, he really did.
Herman, do you think that was justifiable on the way they played?
Yeah, on chances, they deserve to take it, you know, to go through, and you know, they had great chances at the end of the game and missed them, but obviously the keeper, you know, made the day for him. You know, tremendous saves, 3 saves, all different, and yeah, they deserve it.
Shows the importance of goalkeeping coaches. Charlton have just lost theirs, and Simon Royce gave him the tips, didn't he, for this penalty shootout to the Brentford keeper?
Yeah, obviously, like I said, he's seen him before, so that's a great tip. That's 1 save for him, so it's done its job.
It just goes to show it's not about luck, is it? It's about doing the homework, and the people who do the homework, you make your own luck. And as I say, Richard Lee, it was a great save. The first one with Johnny Jackson, we were sort of thinking it's not actually that bad a penalty, because keepers, as Gary mentioned, keepers normally dive one way. But because he'd done his homework, you can see he just stood up, stood big, and made a really good save. And psychologically, that is very, very important. Thierry Racon, I think that's a good penalty. That's just a wonderful save, diving to his right. You can see it's going in the bottom corner, probably even hitting the side netting. Here, you can see, again, it's another good save, and he does deserve it. And he's thinking, yes, I've saved it. He suddenly got up, oh no, it's going in. Would he have got there in time? I'm not so sure, but he got that little bit of luck, and he certainly deserved it. Again, it's all about the homework. But even once you do the homework, you have to have the agility to make those saves. And those last 2, he certainly did.
It was great. They say goalkeepers can never be villains in the situation of a penalty shootout. They can only be heroes, can't they?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you expect everyone to score, really, but the keeper, he's the key. You know, if one keeper makes 1 save, he's won it for you. So.
And he looked so cool there, didn't he?
Yeah,
afterwards
exactly.
As well?
And he saved the first 3. I mean.
Yeah, you expect to win from that point on. Don't
Yeah,
you,
for
really?
sure.
He probably would have been disappointed he didn't save Gary Doherty.
Yeah, he would be. Yeah.
No, I'm only joking.
But the winning penalty from Gary Alexander, that's you know, great feeling for Gary, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, as he said, I don't think he expected to actually take it the way the first 3 were being saved. But yeah, again, it's just about being cool, knowing which way the goalkeeper's diving one way, he goes the other. and it's a pretty simple finish. And I think Brentford deserve it over the 90 minutes. We'll talk about the chances right at the end of the game as well, but also the penalties. I think they look very confident and deserve to go through.
Yeah. Let's hear from the Brentford manager. The winning manager, Andy Scott, is with Patrick now.
Well, Andy, you had to go all the way to penalties again, but how pleased to come through it?
I thought we were the better side, with the 3 or 4 best chances. We could have won it at the end. Carly's hit the bar and Charlie's had a fantastic chance, and right at the end, Sam Wood. So I felt we were the better side, but we've got a knack in penalties. We've had plenty of them this season. I think we're trying to set a record for the amount of penalty shootouts in the season, but our goalkeeper keeps on making great saves in them, and we're very, very confident once we get there.
So you've been involved in 5 shootouts. You've won 4 of them. Is that just luck?
No, I don't think it's luck. Rich has done his research. We spoke to him about Johnny Jackson, particularly whether he was going to play or not. That he hits him down the middle. He scored 2. That comes from us, watching penalties and writing them down and see who scores and where they go. But he's got a knack. He looks at whatever he looks at, but he's got a knack of saving them, and long may it continue.
And do these shootouts get any easier to watch from the touchline?
They're all reasonably easy because I haven't got to take one. It's great standing there, watching it, because the pressure's on the players and they can handle it very well. And I'm very, very confident in their ability. Said to, if you're positive and you make the decision and you score, I've got not got a problem with it. If you miss, the keeper makes a save. As long as we hit the target and we're positive, we can't do any more than that.
So it's just Exeter now between yourselves and Wembley. How big a challenge, but also how big an opportunity is that?
Well, it's a huge opportunity, but Paul will be saying exactly the same to his lads at Exeter. They've won on penalties today, so we've beaten them 4-2 down there in the league and missed 2 penalties ourselves. So we fancy ourselves against anyone in the league, and we played Championship sides and Premiership sides and giving them good games. So we've got to make sure that we keep our standards right and we don't get distracted between now and then, and we've got to continue our good league form, and that's 3 clean sheets on the trot as well, and we look very, very solid as a squad.
Well done, Andy. Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
So there will be 2 League One clubs in the final at Wembley at the end of this competition. And it is a slow-burning competition, this one, isn't it, Scott? It does start slowly. But when Wembley comes around, as we saw last season for Southampton, it's a big occasion, isn't it?
It's massive. Every footballer, I don't care who you are, wants to be playing at Wembley in whatever competition it is. And, probably the players at the start of the season are thinking, well, it's not really that high on the list of priorities, this particular competition. But when you get closer and closer, you can smell Wembley, you can smell getting there, and that's exactly what I think Andy Scott and Brentford have been doing. And as I say, I thought they were the better side all in all.
And it's confidence for penalties, you were saying, Herman, just a few moments ago. You've got to go into that penalty kick with confidence, haven't you, if you're the goalkeeper or the penalty taker?
Yeah, as a penalty taker, you have to pick your spot.
Did you take a few penalties yourself?
Yeah, always in the penalty shoot, I put my hand up. Usually I wasn't picked, but...
You volunteered?
Yeah, I volunteered every time. If you're going to go out, you want to mess it up yourself, don't you, rather than someone else?
Did you volunteer?
Well, I made 3 spot kicks, and the one I missed was actually the one I didn't put myself up for the top 5, which I suppose goes to show confidence is a major thing. The 2 I did, I scored, and was pretty confident I was going to do that. So I just think the fact that they've had this season so many times, 5 times now, that they're going to be so confident going into it, and I think we saw that at the end.
And it was interesting, Richard Lee was saying there earlier that they'd practiced this scenario this morning.
Well, it isn't luck. It isn't luck. He's done his homework. He's made sure that he knew that Johnny Jackson goes down the middle. I think that was psychologically the important one, no doubt about it, because suddenly they know that if they can go and score, then they're 1 ahead. And there's not that much time to try and get back into it. So the fact that he saved it, normally goalkeepers do dive out the way, but because he'd done his homework, he made sure he stayed big. And as I say, they went on. And I think after that first spot kick, Brentford were always going to be the team to go through.
Charlton are feeling at the moment. They had a heartbreaking penalty shootout last season, didn't they, against Swindon in the playoff semi-finals. That really did get to them, didn't it? And here again tonight, hasn't been good for them, has it? Yeah, no, this won't hurt as much, but there's no doubt about it. They'll be thinking, well, we were pretty close. We've come this far as well. We wanted to try and get to Wembley. They didn't, but I just felt in the 90 minutes they didn't create enough chances. Phil Parkinson made a few changes. They had a game, of course, on Sunday where they played really bad, but not enough time to recover. So I understand why he made the changes. Just the players, I think, apart from maybe Carl Reid, perhaps didn't do enough. And as I say, Brentford definitely deserve to go through. Well, let's hear from the Charlton manager now. Phil Parkinson is with Patrick.
Phil, it came down to the lottery of penalties. What have you said to your players?
Well, you know, it was a difficult game for us coming on the back of Sunday, and we put in a far better performance than we did Sunday. Going to penalties is always difficult, and we've lost it to 3 fantastic saves. And you know, the worst thing in doing a penalty with a penalty is blaze it over the bar, and we've hit the target, but the keeper has pulled off some tremendous saves, and you know, the lads are disappointed, but you can't do much about that.
You touched on it there. Did you get the response you wanted after Sunday?
Yeah, I thought we put in a hard working display tonight, and like I said, you know, 2 games, it's coming so well, 3 games in quick succession. He's always going to test the squad to the limits, but the lads worked hard tonight, and we showed more energy tonight than we did Sunday. So yeah, no complaints about that. Like I say, the penalties is a bit of a lottery, but we knew the rules before we came tonight, and their keeper was, you know, out of this world really.
You brought some good attacking players off the bench. How desperate were you to get through in this competition?
Yeah, well, we had the in our mind that with Benno and Joe and Jacko to come off the bench with 20 minutes to go to try and win us it, because obviously you don't want to go to penalties in an ideal situation. So that was the plan. You know, it didn't quite work that way. Maybe 1 or 2 appeals for a penalty near the end, which didn't go our way. But you just need that goal, obviously, and it didn't quite come tonight.
Did you feel it was quite a physical match?
I thought a couple of challenges on Carl Reid, you know, certainly warranted the yellow cards they got. He came in for some rough treatment, but he's that type of player where he draws defenders in, and he is going to be liable to those type of challenges. But overall, overly physical. Apart from that, not really.
Overall, does this still have the chance to be a big season for you at Charlton?
Yeah, without doubt. You know, we've got ourselves in a great position in the league. We've had a terrific run to get us up there, and now we've got this busy Christmas period, which we're looking forward to. And I think Sunday was a good game to get out of our system, really. And we move on to Hartlepool on Saturday.
Thanks for joining us, Phil.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers, Phil. A quick thought or two about the area finals now. First of all, Herman, it's Brentford against Exeter. Would you make 2 legs, but would you make Brentford favourites in that one?
Yeah,
if it goes to penalties, maybe.
For sure. And sometimes you need that luck. You know, they've been through a few penalty shootouts now, and you know, some things are meant to be, and you just got that feeling now that they're going to go all the way.
And for you, Brentford as well, or
yeah, sometimes you do feel you've got your name on the cup, and they'll be delighted to take penalties, won't they, going into it, obviously being a double legger. But I think Brentford will go through to the final.
Yeah, and the other one is Huddersfield against Carlisle. That could be a tight one, couldn't it?
Yeah, that's anyone's game, you know. Both doing quite well, Huddersfield especially maybe. But yeah, for me that's anyone's
50-50. How would you see Huddersfield and Carlisle?
I fancy Huddersfield, to be honest with you. I think Lee Clark's doing a really good job there, and he's got a strong squad. I think, as I say, he can maybe use his experience as a player to actually talk to the players themselves. And I really do feel that they're a strong side, and they've got a great chance of actually going straight up from League One into the Championship.
And Carlisle beaten finalists last year. That sometimes motivates you to get back and win it the next time.
Yeah, it can do. There's no doubt about it. Again, it's all about the experience of being there, and you can use that hurt from the previous season to try and kick on and go that one stage further. I just think Huddersfield, to be honest with you, have that extra bit of experience, extra bit of class, and I'm pretty sure that they will go through.
Yeah. And Herman, good to see you tonight. How's the Achilles, and when will you play for Portsmouth again?
Yeah, I've been training now for the past 2.5 months. I just need some games now, some minutes, maybe for a friendly game or something. We haven't got a reserve team, so yeah, hopefully as soon as possible.
Good luck with that. Coming up for you on Sky Sports on Saturday and Sunday. Sunderland against Bolton on Saturday, 12:30, HD 2 and 2. Also on Saturday from the Championship, Ipswich against Leicester, 5 o'clock, HD 2 and 2. Super Sunday is Blackpool against Tottenham from 1 o'clock, HD 1 and 1. And Chelsea against Manchester United, 3:30, HD 1 and 1. It's a really big thank you to Scott Minto and Herman Herodis, and thanks for your company, guys. Enjoy the evening. Certainly the ending of it, Brentford going through. Bye for now.
When you're coming home, 'cause it's hot inside. Isn't that in love? I'm not in love. I'm not in love. I'm not in love. I'm not in
More sport, news, views and video on Sky Player, Sky Mobile TV and at skysports.com.
No.